Okay, we're on Act 10. We just about finished the campaign. It is a week and a half since launch. I mean, we started like the same day it came out too. We didn't like start late. Took us a while this time. Took us a while. Working 12 days in a row. Hard for a man to get his game on. Okay, so I was in the middle of buying something last night before I went to work. Didn't get it bought. Just ran out of time on myself. I had the money in my bank, but nobody would fucking message me back. But now I'm about to take my money out of the bank in real life because fucking forgot my wallet today. And I thought I had lost it. Apparently, like, I keep my wallet on top of my stereo and it fell off into the drawer right in front of it. And the door, it wasn't closed or anything. I just didn't notice it there. And I was looking everywhere. I thought I might have left it on the couch at the break room at work. And I was like, man, somebody's got my shit. I need to check my bank account, see if I made any legit purchases. I can track them down. Like, well, I put my phone in here in this room. I don't know exactly why I did that. And then I was like, I gotta check both of my vehicles, see if I left my wallet in there. And I was like, well, I guess I gotta call work now. I looked and my phone's not in where it's supposed to be. And I was like, oh my god, I've lost my phone now too. What is happening? I thought I had a hole in my pocket. Maybe shit's just falling out of my jeans, like through my feet. So then my headphones are on. And the Bluetooth is like going connected. So I'm like, well, it's connected to my phone. My phone's got to be here somewhere. I figured out how to put it in here on the desk. So then I tried to call work, and luckily the call didn't go through or something. So I just looked in front of my stereo, and there it was. I'm like, oh my god, thank God. This can't happen again. I'm taking my money out of the bank. Already people are saying, like, depositors are going to start pulling money out of banks, and all the banks are going to fail. Anybody that has money in the bank is about to lose all their shit. Already had 3 or 4 banks like fail us. Elon Musk has issued a warning like this is going to keep happening. It's going to be bad. I'm like, well, okay. Trust Elon. He's got billions. There's a thing called a money market account he says everybody's going to start putting their money into. I don't know what a money market account is. Can you write checks from it? So I'll do that. Maybe it's like a deposit, but the bank can't invest your money in loans and shit. Maybe it's like an account, you put the money in that gets invested in the market, but you're guaranteed to get it back, and you can't withdraw it for a certain amount of time. That's how you like incentivize them. That would make sense. I think I just invented money market accounts. If that's so. Just thinking about like what could it be. Dominating blow. Oh, that's probably what my other guy should be using. Dominating blow. Get him! As he's dying. Oh no! What has happened? He's full health all of a sudden. What's going on here? Of course I died. Why wouldn't I? just gonna leave proxy shield, guys, because fuck it. I don't have time to deal with this bullshit. Okay. I mean, I'm in America though, and I have to live, so I can't like buy rubles or whatever is better than $1, because I can't go to Walmart and say here's some rubles. They'll be like, what are you talking about? I'll have to convert it back anyway. So. On the tongue, I went for no man. No man. Try to wait on this. Let's see how much this thing costs. This here, and all these. There. Time and tie. Okay, so. Totem Mastery. It's over here. This one has no health. So I guess we're gonna have to go down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh. Hello. Just for ballista totems, and there's no health. But you get my placement speed wouldn't matter. What about trap trigger? Blah, blah, blah. Throw 4 additional traps. Trigger additional time. Oh. That seems real good. 2 additional traps at a time. 5% chance to throw 4. Something to think about. Where's my portal? Real estate. You get hit so hard when you hit. I've got this going. I'm still getting hit. Wait, what? Son of a bitch. I guess we just taken and leveled it up accidentally. Whoa! What the fuck was that? Bunch of purple shit. God, get the fuck out of there, Jesus! It's like my buttons don't work. I'm getting stun locked. plastic box is shit. I can tell by looking at the goddamn game. I don't know what everybody likes about it. You guys gotta be stupid to like that game. It's the same old Korean bullshit. Fucking 50 mobs that all look exactly the same and have the exact same animation at the exact same time, and you hit them and they're stun locked, and you just just like, oh yeah, you're doing a real good job. Such a challenging game. Wouldn't play that for anything. Watch me play it next week. I always lie about shit. Purchase. Cash damage taken. Level 1. Throw it in the trash. Okay. Shouting page. Time to go to wall. Yeah, so I found my wallet and I decided to reward myself by trimming my dog's nails. She hates it. I'm gonna get my ascendancy, you know? I'm like blasting out too quick. The staff of purity. Unlike the staff of kings, the staff is pure. So pure. Once I get on a chaos recipe, I never get any upgrades because I'm always not identifying anything. I am reborn. How many? 65? Okay. So every time I get an amulet, it's like fighting chaos. So what I need to do my ascendancy, and then I need to do, wait, I need to do 2 ascendancies. I haven't done my second one. I'm about to do the end game boss. I've got a couple of ascendancies. Wait, I did get the second one, didn't I? Yeah, I did. So I don't want. Why would I need that one? Okay, Matrix Adrenaline, I'll get that. Which one? Oh yeah, I should be able to get element immunity. Purity of elements. Promises to non-challenge skills. I feel like there's a good build you can make with this if the build I'm making right now was already broken. Oh wait, Shit, this one I already did, didn't it? I'm missing like a lot of the mazes or something. There's just 3, ain't there? Where's this lattice? Okay. I almost in it. Oh, okay. Act 8, bathhouse. Act 9, tunnel. Right. Bathhouse. I'm gonna take a bath. Gonna take a bath. It's been so long since I gave my dog a bath, she doesn't even like flinch at the word anymore. She used to be like, bath, run away, hide. I was like, what is that again? I don't remember. That's why she's got a black belly. It's supposed to be pink, I think. But this isn't it. This is the High Gardens. Coworker fell asleep again today, and I got on YouTube and I was thinking about like finding a car crash sound effect and playing it really loud. Imagine you falls asleep. Like somebody plays a car crash. Just fly out of your chair. Oh man. Wow. Not even close fire. You almost did not kill me. Ha ha! Crafting. Ah. Oh, you can't summon these in the. Oh, you can't. Tunnels. I remember. You gonna get mad if you don't wash your animals? I don't know about that. Girl at work went to this. She took a day off of work to go to a reptile convention or something. She came back with a python or a boa constrictor, some kind of boa constrictor, and a 2 Madagascar hissing cockroaches. And apparently Madagascar hissing cockroaches are pretty expensive. The babies themselves, they didn't know it was pregnant or she wouldn't have sold it to her, she said. It had like 50 babies, and they're worth like $10 each right now, but when they get it more adult, they're worth more. Right click. Do not level that gem. I didn't already level that. That's a lot of money. You have to start us a cockroach farm. She said she's going to get into praying mantises next. Or how much those things sell for. She says like the shitty green ones that we have around here are like probably $20-30 each. She may have been talking about like hundreds of dollars for like a rare praying mantis. Did you ever see that Marco Polo show on Netflix? The guy that was teaching him martial arts had like a praying mantis. He would poke it with a stick and see how it would react to certain things. And he was learning like praying mantis kung fu. So sick. Getting on Discord, Austin's on. Arm's falling asleep. Be careful.
Oh, hi.
Hey, Ryan.
What you been playing that other build? Asmongold, he made some fucking crazy build.
Oh yeah, what was that? Like frost waves shooting out of him 1,000 times a second?
Not even moving, he's just standing there. And then like the frost wave is just like auto casting or something.
Does he know what he's doing or somebody just giving him information?
He knows what he's doing. Yeah, I was watching his stream.
So he came up with that build itself?
Yeah, I think so.
What the fuck? How does it even work?
It's actually, I don't know. Asmongold's kind of like, I don't really explain it too well, but he was like,
Wildcat says, have you ever seen the video of the first ever version of WoW? Have you ever seen that?
which one?
I don't know what he's talking about. That sounds familiar.
Oh yeah, Asmongold reacted to that. It was like pre-alpha footage. Everything looks pretty ugly. And in that alpha footage, it was like way back then they had old. Oh yeah, maybe you should just watch the video on that if you have a chance. 'Cause in it, shows off what Ironforge used to look like before they used to have a bunch of like little bridges everywhere, and it was bigger. There's like a whole. It takes like a guy 25 minutes to fully explore like all of Ironforge because there's so much shit, and like hook it all out for like the release. So like current Ironforge that's in the game, I guess, current vanilla used to be even bigger. So that is kind of cool though.
Playing PoE at all?
A little bit, but like I just haven't had very good drops, and I'm just
You haven't completed the campaign yet?
no.
I'm just to the point where I can. I'm just trying to get my ascendancy before I lose all my resists.
Like I'm not having any issues really. Like I'm gonna fight Kitava for something. No. I'm on where the fuck am I? Killed the sun thing. I gotta kill the Moon Lord or whatever.
They come at the same time.
No, I gotta kill like the one that get that orb to summon it. But since my build is all cold damage, that area like is cold damage.
Wait, can you take one orb there and do one at a time?
I don't think so. Maybe, I don't know. I tried.
Yeah, this totem smasher build everybody's doing now. It's like ridiculously overpowered. But it seems like they don't mind it. Like it's... They put 600% damage on there. So they obviously want you to use the totems to die.
I'm confused about GGG's kind of like what they're running your games, like exactly how they decide to balance things. Because sometimes you got builds that are just extremely overpowered.
Just, like, go by the limit of totems you can have by what if you're like a totem mastery guy or like a Templar, like, I'll summon 6 totems, that'll be all I can ever have. No, everybody's using like multiple traps, trap into totems, multiple totems, you have like 50 totems come up. I was like, we didn't think they would do that. Surely not. That's just bad form.
My problem is I don't really want to invest a whole bunch of effort into a build just to have it like nerf it in a week, and then it's gonna be broken or something.
Once you get the item that does the thing, they'd have to change your item, wouldn't they?
Okay, well, what does it do? Is it just...
You gotta get a, probably at least a level 80 bow or staff. Or maybe even an axe work, or anything. It has to have a crucible tree that has the totems die for 600% of their life. And then second to that, you want to have the one that you have a chance to summon an initial totem, so you get like twice as many totems. And then on the tier 1, where you can get like +1 strength gems, if that would be crazy. Oh, and crit multi, I think, maybe also in that matter. As long as you got the 600% one, you're good. You can probably do the highest content in the game, I think. You need a heat shiver, and you need Crimson Sorrow gloves.
Heat shiver's like really low tier, isn't it?
I got mine for like 5C.
Well, still, it's not like having to buy exalts for stuff.
Yeah. And then you only use like that one skill, and like all your like passives that give you like totem damage or trap damage, I don't think any of those count because it's just based on the totem life. So all you need is like totem life and a number of totems, and because that's every hit is 600%. So the more hits you have,
so what, like I'm pretty sure that's what Asmongold's built was basically. A bunch of totems like came up and started shock waving something or shooting sort of ice beam it.
But he'd have to keep throwing traps if he was doing it this way.
He was. I don't even know if he was. In the video I was watching, like a...
There might be another Crucible mod that's really good.
11-hour stream he did or something like that. There's a video...
I mean, this you can kill like Uber Maven in like 3 seconds.
The thing is, he wasn't even moving. He took his hands off his keyboard and was just like standing there.
But
like
stuff wasn't just instantly dying though, right? Took a while.
I don't know, he was fighting a boss, and the boss hitting him, and he just take any damage, and then he just his hands off his keyboard, sat there for like 2 minutes, and then it died. Like, it died slowly, but basically it was unkillable.
What you guys up to?
I was just watching. But in real life, I've been mining looking for gold. Found any yet, but
Well, the government found out, they'll take it.
Like panning.
I bought a few different kinds of pickaxes, and I just spent $600 Canadian on a jackhammer. So
Oh, that'd be crazy. You know how the government's always taking treasure away from treasure hunters, gold miners and shit? It's like,
that's why I'm not gonna tell them
what
about
if there was like some special rule for like retarded people? Because everything you try to do, like, oh, I'm retarded, doesn't count. Be like, fuck, the government can't even take my money away. This is like all treasure hunting companies would start hiring retarded people to like be the official masthead of their paperwork.
The problem with that, though, that you do is like a lot of these retarded kids that have autism are like, they don't want to run around in them hills looking for gold because they're like got ADHD and can't like focus on anything. And
Just tell them you'll give them a lollipop if you leave. Or something like that, whatever they like. I'll show you some ladies' boobs if you'll come into the mountains.
it might work.
Alright,
There's a lot around here that are just like soy boys who don't have any testosterone. But for me, it's like, I like Minecraft, and I put like thousands of hours into Minecraft. So doing this has been like real life Minecraft. I've just been running around, and especially where I live, there's like 8 volcanoes. So like they're just like volcanic shit everywhere, and I'm metal detected, and I keep pulling out like chunks of iron and other types of crystals. Next to me, I've got like 3 boxes of rocks, just different types. Lots of pyrite. The thing is, there's a gold mine that's about a 4-hour drive away, and the whole mountain is like not very good gold. It's like you have to grind all the hard rock up, then you have to like concentrate it. But like gold is almost up to 3,000 USD an ounce. So like here in Canada, that's like,
Oh shit! I haven't been keeping up with the Gold Rush TV show, but it was like 2000 something last time I watched it.
yeah, it's about to hit 3,000. So it's like, and that's USD, and that's like double here. So that's like $6,000.
Is that just because the dollar has gone down so much, or because gold's gone up so much?
Gold's gone up so much. The dollar's been going down. Oh yeah, your dollar's kind of like, it's the only reason it's going down right now is because Saudi Arabia is going to start selling oil in yuan now as well as USD.
Chinamans.
So because the Chinamans have been going over there and brokering deals with them and whatnot. From what I watched, I was watching some sort of like, you know, sometimes you're not sure what you can trust on YouTube, but more or less it was because Biden and everyone's kind of like, they're pushing all this eco-friendly shit, but like, that's cutting into the people's bottom line, profit-wise. Like, why would you want to deal with the U.S. if they're gonna like try to stop oil production? Your like whole stick is you sell oil. I don't know. Maybe you guys will master like hydrogen cars or something here.
I think we've had that technology for years, just don't want to use it while there's still fossil fuels out.
They want to make money. It makes sense. Like, why would you come up with a thing that will make all this money making like relevant, right? You would probably want to go around and like milk the planet absolutely dry of that black gold, so you could make money off it, and then come out with, oh, we ran out of gold. Oh, what are we gonna do about it? Oh, here's our scientists worked on this thing real hard. Here you go.
If you think about it, it's just leaving money on the table if you don't do that, because once the
Yeah.
oil's obsolete, it's just a waste of money to go dig it up. It's just gonna sit there.
And store it. There's like hundreds of, the
We
areas
don't
where
dig
they
that
store
oil
it.
up. It's just gonna sit in the ground and pollute the environment. We gotta dig that oil up for the environment. When you think about it.
It's kind of interesting because with that, the way of that thought, like when I read all these books about geology, a lot of times those oil deposits never make it to the surface. So like what we have to do is drill, like set up an oil well and drill down to it. We'd look pretty stupid if we had all these giant oil spills, killed all these millions of animals. It was worthless, right? Like, no, because it's worth more than gold. It's worth destroying like the environment for. But it's just, I'm not trying to be like a hippie or anything, but it's just the way it is. If you look at even mining gold, this is very destructive.
What are these biker gangs going to do when they have to have like electric motorcycles because there's no more gas? They can't go, I can't make that crazy sound, piss anybody off. Be like,
They probably have like a
like little scooter
pre-recorded. You just have it pre-recorded into a speaker and then put it on your.
Oh, that's gay.
It makes me wonder about the government though, because they're always trying to like. Here in Canada, they've been talking about coming out with that central digital currency that could track everything you do, all your transactions here soon. So I was wondering, they're like, oh no, that's gonna be shit, because like currently, kind of live off of cash. I'll go and mow someone's lawn, or pick weeds, or do some other minimum wage job for cash. Then I don't have to record that cash. Just go and like.
Oh, well, tell us more. I'm not with the government. I
Yeah,
won't
of
be
course
knocking on your door today.
Well, it doesn't matter anyways, because soon they're going to be taking that away, right? We're going to deal with having to like they want to like abolish cash in my country. So like, how the fuck are they going to do that? If they manage to do that, then that kind of undoes like any possibility that I can make money under the table raise. But then I guess you undo like the problem with that is then.
It's highly legal, according to her.
Well, I don't know, because if cash is abolished and you turn all your bills become worthless pieces of paper, plastic. But then it makes me wonder about like gold. Because if I have a bunch of gold, where do I go turn in my gold? And they just turn it into digital currency? So the whole going full digital currency kind of freaks me out a little bit, because what happens if it just gets deleted or something and you don't have anything like to back it up with? Because currently, I just go to the bank and I
think I see what you're getting at. I've been thinking about this myself. Like, if you invest in something like Bitcoin becomes scarce and goes up in value, so now you sell it for more money. Is that actual money that's been made into cash dollars and paper money somewhere? Or is it just in a computer system? It's just getting multiplied, and it's just inflating the money without even having to create it.
We played video games, a lot of video games and MMOs over the years, right? And I know for a fact, once the economy in some of those games gets like inflation, crazy inflation, they have to like delete the gold, or like do a server rollback or something like that. But in real life, you can't do that. So like, how do you? But if you abolish cash and it's all like digital currency, what do they just delete like a bunch of people's money, come up with more crazy taxes so they can just
like all that Bitcoin that was in digital wallets, people lost into landfills because they threw out their hard drives or whatever, and they just don't have it anymore.
Yeah, it's essentially like removed. But gold is like an element, you can't destroy it.
That's why I had that theory of like money that expires. You have like a year to spend it.
Yeah.
It just expires.
Well, they actually talked about that. Actually, here they said that your money from the government. So like the way they were going to change the system, which is why I feel like I'm even more fucked. Than I won't be able to make under the table cash to live off of. Now the money that I make from the government currently, like they give me allowance. Right now, that doesn't have any like limitations to it. But what they're talking about imposing is that the money you get from the government can only be used on certain things. They'll be monitoring what you spend it on. So you might be able to go, like T2, let's say you go to the store and you're going to go buy some more liquor or whatever. The government could be like, you can only use this money for healthy food. Something like that. Which is like, removes the freedom of choice and all that stuff. So. And then even talk about if you don't use the money, it expires within a certain time frame or something like that. Well, I don't know, this sounds fucked up.
It's like when you give somebody food stamps, they're purchasing stuff with not real money.
Yeah.
So that kind of makes... I don't know if that helps it or hurts it. What does that do?
Now this digital currency is going to be like food stamps or something. Which is kind of shit, because like, here's the thing I was thinking about. Is I could take the money the government gives me and buy gold with it. Then have the gold as a physical, and then gold's value goes up. So I made money off of that purchase.
I just don't trust that, because all these right-wing news stations like Fox News and News America, America One Network, all these gun bullshit, they're all saying like invest in gold. All their sponsors are gold sellers.
Yeah, but it's not so much that I would buy gold from like one of them. It would be like, just the thing is, gold holds its value because it's still like it's used in electronics as well. So even if gold was removed as a currency, it would still have value as being like precious metal, like microchips and stuff.
I mean, as long as you keep making it the same way.
Well, hypothetical, because it's like gold and silver and copper are all really good conductors. So you would have to find up a way to make like a
Once we
conductor
figure
that's
out
more
fusion,
efficient.
it's gonna be like helium-3 and iridium and shit like that. It'll probably be like,
Yeah, but iridium's like slightly radioactive. So the thing is, we have too many dumb people. Can you imagine dumb people flying like Jetson type vehicles around, crashing into each other and being retarded all the time? We already can't keep them on the road.
what am I doing right now? Just start another. Yeah, I didn't.
Why did you just go into it?
I don't know. I'm confused. Let's see. Defense is over. Oh, I actually have pretty decent defenses.
Did you already do this version, or
Yeah.
are you?
I just gotta go maps now.
Well, I guess you could go through here again and see if you can get.
I gotta
measure.
get over 80 so I can get to places that drop below 80 bows so I can start crucibling them to try to get the things that I want.
Okay, so to the guy that's talking to Jet, why should you freely spend the government's money without accountability? I'm like, but if they're gonna give me the money, right? I already went through all the hoops when I was a kid where I had to go all those different like appointments so they could tell like IQ tests and figure out like my IQ is supposedly only like 75 or something. So I passed the stupidity tests, okay? Did all the other bullshit, the doctor appointments. So I finished the criteria to get the money in the first place. Not like and it took years to get the money. So that's the accountability there. It's like the same thing, T2. You don't get any money from the government, but you get money from your job. So, and you can freely spend the money from your job as you please. Imagine if there was some sort of bullshit that comes out, other than what I just talked about with the government. If your work gives you like the new money, it's like you can only spend the money on these things, and that's it. You wouldn't want to have to work for them, right?
We're talking about like healthy food?
I don't know anything. It depends.
I'll take some healthy food one. The reason I don't buy healthy food now is because I can't afford it. If you give me money for it, I'd find a way to spend their money.
The thing is, like, what would you do if the government just starts cracking down on
If
like?
I said I had to buy hookers with it, I'd be like, well, hell yeah. I'll give me some
Oh
hookers.
yeah. Because you know how the government is; they're a bit slow to react.
Everything's
There's always
better when it's
loopholes.
free.
Generally.
Free food is the best tasting food there is.
The other thing too, at least in my country, the government here, for some bloody reason, is so giving. They give all like these people, disability checks, or they import like 40,000 migrants and put them in hotels and live better than the people who live here. So the government just always giving away. Like, God damn, that ghost is kicking your ass.
It's fucking one of those demon guys. Those are like one of the best minions to have. Plus he's got a ghost in it. Yeah, a lot of people are saying the government's manipulating us to try to keep us within like a 5-minute radius of our house or something. Like keep us all in one area, and get us to all like
15-minute cities or some crap I
I
heard.
don't know if
yeah.
like all the trans shit is supposed to divide us or it's supposed to like make us
Weird
weak
though.
somehow.
It's gotten like Republicans don't like it, but like the others, the left, like I don't know, you voted for Biden or something, right? But
I think there's a lot of things that happened maybe 15 years ago that are all coming home to roost. I know one of them is like they stopped doing mandatory maintenance on train tracks, and now every train has been derailing. And
They're
apparently
cutting
they
costs.
started hiring certain like people for teaching jobs. Now everybody's shooting up schools because everybody's turning trans and everybody's like saying all a bunch of bullshit at the school, pissing everybody off. making everybody
I-
depressed. They started like maybe taking drugs. Certain kind of drugs made everybody like lose their minds and getting trans and shooting up schools. It's all like related. A lot of it's like the teachers are indoctrinating in colleges.
Well, yeah, you've seen the ones that are like they're crazy. A lot of them, they're
I
like,
can't believe we talked about dicks today and he didn't even flinch. Look, all these teachers are just so happy about, oh, we got to talk about dicks finally. I got to make them read some fucking perverted shit, and then they start banning all the books because of it, because it's like all kind of chain reacting.
yeah.
It's all because like a certain number of years ago, fucked up.
Well, that's the other reason I was going to avoid this topic earlier, but that's another reason that Saudi Arabia and whatever doesn't want to deal with like all these deals for oil and gas fell through with them because in Saudi, no, you're too woke for them, because in Saudi Arabia, if you're a trans dude, or you get executed, like hanged.
Probably just dealing with America will get you to control or look down upon.
So now we're like like America's the laughing stock of the world. No one respects us anymore. Sure, we got nukes and stuff, but like now almost every country has nukes. So it's kind of like, I mean, you've seen, you can have the most powerful military in the world, but if like your country's poor, what? Because you look at your country, my country too. It's like third world countries in certain sections, like certain towns are completely destroyed, all the infrastructure is destroyed, everything's just falling apart. Basically abandoned ghost towns everywhere, like half your country. I mean, like, you're still like the best country in the world or whatever it is.
It's like that place that Soft White Underbelly went, where the guy talks like a dog because he was raised by dogs.
Oh, there was that in
West
Scandinavia or something.
Virginia.
There was another one I was talking. But it was just that the world is like, I watched this interesting program. I was talking about how if we ever have a solar flare, like the whole U.S. grid system is fucked, and it'll send you guys back to the 1800s or something like that. It hasn't happened yet, so everyone's like,
I know some people around here that love to go back to the 1800s. They still like have the technology. They're ready for it. They got their butter churn already set up, their washboard.
They're gonna be Amish. They're gonna have no electricity.
Yeah.
How many young people are glued to their phones, and if you just took their phone away, like with a solar flare charge, is like burns. Like that's the issue I have with the new digital currency. What if the server room that has all our money on it gets like fucking, I don't know, blows up or something? Like, whoops, everyone, we got some backups, so the backups were fried too. Whoopsies. Everyone's insured up to like 250,000 or something, and then that means all the rich people will lose like millions of dollars. Like, I don't know. It's kind of how we're, like in my country, we've been having bank runs. Ugh. The main bank has been freaking out and like trying to bail all the other banks out, and yeah, generally, if the government is willing to give me money for being retarded, like, why should I also then have to spend it the way they want? Like, once you give me the money, in my opinion, it's mine.
You're not smart enough to spend it, you're retarded.
Well, they should have put that in the contract like 20 years ago. It's not like humans have just been around.
You have to be retarded to get the money, but you can't be retarded if you want to spend the money. Circular logic.
Like,
Justin Trudeau loves retarded.
but like, my president is like, before he was a president, he was a substitute drama teacher. Wasn't even a full-time one. I don't know how he ended up getting like at least with yours, with Trump or Biden, they were like businessmen or they were in the CIA or
I don't know.
had
I
like
think
some
we could use a
standing.
teacher president. That'd be something different. Just not any teacher that we have now because they're all gay. Doing gay shit.
Half the time, I mean, you're not sure if like Trudeau's gay because he's like,
Well, there's always the people that are in like positions of authority that always fucking kids and doing stupid shit. There's the priests, the teachers, camp counselors. People that are supposed to be in charge of the kids are always the ones fucking up.
well, because like children, it's weird with children because they're almost like a different race because they act so much different than us. Like not a race of people, but like a subspecies or something like that. But then once you get to like a certain area where you go through puberty, then you like evolve and become an adult. Pokemon or something evolving. But we like some adults who are predatory around children are like these ones that are like these I don't know, I've even watched it. You got the professors that'll be like a dude in his 40s or older than that, talking about all the race stuff or the trans stuff, and it's almost like he's become the new priest.
Like Jordan Peterson.
Well, he was anti against that stuff, but like I like Jordan Peterson in this sense because he was just trying to like warn people. Like he ended up going to our parliament and talking to like our government and being like, don't come out with a rule mandating that you have to call people like by their pronouns. They didn't listen to him, and now we have issues where you'll be fined like $100,000 if you misgender somebody.
Unless you could go to jail for it or something now.
Yeah, or 1 year in jail. It's like, what? And in Canada too, they're coming out with. It makes me wonder what they're rolling out, right? Because our population isn't very big. Before, in the past, we used to have commercials all the time about like don't commit suicide and like life is wonderful and blah blah blah. And they had suicide hotline and all that stuff. Now they're actively like, oh yeah, if your back hurts, okay, we can euthanize you.
We had the old "Don't Litter" campaign back in the 80s, and then now it's trash everywhere because we haven't redone it.
Yeah, I guess so.
People are too dumb to not know how to not litter.
I'm wondering because there's like too many stupid people now. But it's like the issue that I've seen with this is what I've kind of looked at societies, right? I wonder how like ancient civilizations collapsed. Maybe they all got to like where we were, where it's like eventually you don't like God and you think religion is kind of stupid, but I think religion is good because it controls stupid people to a point where they don't like destroy their own civilization. You know, like it keeps people in check to a certain degree. Like, not always, because you still have people who break the rules and they get thrown in prison. But even just look at the news in your country, like all the Walmarts and the Walgreens are shut. Chicago shut, like 3 Walmarts closed down because there's just videos of people like walking into the store and walking out with a full inventory of goods and as much as they can carry, and it's just like
California, you talking about?
no, this was in Chicago. I don't know what about other locations, but it's like San Francisco is like a shithole now, and all these different places around that are just turned into like third world countries
I
with
think the
no
lawmakers
law.
just immediately reversed the law on that. Like, well, people are just taking shit. I guess that didn't work, did it? Let's just go back to the old.
No, it's like, yeah, it's politicians run your country and they're all fucking stupid and woke too, and there's all these crazy riots like 2 days ago in one of these other places, your country, and the lawmaker was like this old black lady. I think people were calling her Beetlejuice or something.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And she was like, oh, although all these young people decided to go out and enjoy the weather, it's just too bad there was only a small few of people who decided to riot. But she says that, but then all the footage is like thousands of people like rioting and destroying shit. And it's like, ugh. Then you look at other countries that must think that we're a fucking joke.
Can we talk about the things in Walmart that have security tags for black people's hair products and stuff?
Yeah, and cheese.
That's funny.
There's security tags on the cheese now in my stores.
It's racist, but it's just because that's facts. That's the things that was getting stolen in there. Well, that's what happens to be the thing that gets stolen.
Literally, in Mike's stores now, because we got different races here too. But like, it's more or less like, I don't know. I haven't really seen the racism so much. It's just that everything seems to have tags now. Like I went to Walmart and Superstore, and blocks of cheese had security tags on them.
What? Who's stealing blocks of cheese?
But blocks of cheese is like.
Oh, you don't buy like fancy, expensive cheese? You have a
No. It's Canadian money, so it's like worth less than yours. But it's gotten to the point. No, this is regular orange cheddar is like $9.99 Canadian. Like.
That's not even good to like hide in your pocket. How would you even steal cheese?
Well, there's people stealing like ground beef and stuff like that.
Well,
Not even cooked. You can understand ground beef, but they're trying to just people like being stupid. But now I don't know. Is it ground beef gonna have security? Everything's gonna have security tags on it. Like, is that gonna get to that point? Because it just 20 years ago we didn't have this problem. Around here we didn't have like banks were all glass windows. They didn't have like security bars or anything. Nothing got robbed. Then
Jesus.
I've always just got killed by this boss. I don't know if there's like a safe area you
stand in. That one. The fire doesn't spawn in long enough for me to see where it's going to be at.
You end up having this problem where this, I don't know, society's collapsing. There's like, but it seems like the government. You're talking about, weren't you talking to me about the other day about how it seemed like the government or somebody was trying to like force. Oh, actually, maybe it was Showstopper I was talking to. He thinks the rapture's coming, but the main reason he was thinking about it was like everything that's happening right now is kind of against the Bible. Like the Bible's very clearly states like don't do this, or men or women aren't allowed to like lay with animals or do like.
Can't even lay with animals anymore. It's getting out of control.
But no, let's just think about it. We got the transgender stuff, but it's getting to the crazy levels. So like, people, I don't know. Me and you have probably seen some of the. I post stuff in the other Discord about like, people who want to be like animals, but not just like think they're animals or be called animals. Some of these people want to get like plastic surgery to literally like become animals, or they're like parents that are telling the school needs to set up like a nest or something for their kid.
What?
Yeah,
that?
This is I gotta find it on YouTube. I'll post it in. But like, people are just like psychotic about it now. Where these people are like Munchausen by proxy, like through their children. Just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna let my kid just do whatever they want and think whatever they want and without any repercussions. How are these people gonna take care of themselves? Like, I'm supposed to be retired.
Are we the people? Are we being like the anti-gays of the 60s were like it's out of control? Or is it like, are people always been attack helicopters and cats and shit this whole time, and we just never figured it out? Are we the
I know it's a small
ones?
percent. I don't know, man. Because like I used to get made fun of as a kid for being strange, but my strangeness was fucking nothing compared to the shit that's going on now. Like, so does every generation just have its weirdos? But it's just gotten like.
Can you imagine, like, you're about to do, like, your standardized tests in high school and the kid's in a fucking nest in the corner? Woo! Woo! You know how you do your math problem, Timmy? Woo! I can do
Thank you.
I'm a fucking owl!
Oh, God.
We don't have loony bins anymore. We gotta go back to having loony bins.
Well, it's because they got rid of those before, because people in power, like we were saying before, people who are in power, like doctors, use that ability to get like a mental asylum and then, I don't know, experiment on everybody who lives there. And
I go back to shock therapy.
I heard it does work, supposedly, but it's like, it's really painful. I mean, being shocked all day, but sounds
It
terrible.
will shock the birdness out of you.
Some of these people, I don't know, maybe they just do need to be euthanized or something. I know that sounds horrible, but like, you've met, like, it's already gotten to the point where we got all these druggies everywhere that are like strung out on fentanyl and zombies walking around Philadelphia. But those are just like people who are addicted to drugs. All these other people aren't on drugs and they're already like lost their minds. Just, you know, you read some verses in the Bible or even the Quran, and it talks about how women should not wear the garb of a man, and then there's all these other stuff that's like punishable by death, and I'm like, why? Did they have trans people back then as well? Like, if you had people back then, like men and women trying to be the opposite gender, and it caused some sort of insanity like what's happening right now, like society started collapsing. And they're like, okay, we gotta stop this and write it into the Bible so it never happens again. Because they say history repeats itself, right? So, like,
Seems like it would get to a point where like people just stop reproducing because everybody's too weird that nobody can be attracted to anybody anymore.
maybe that's what they had, and they actually ended up having like the towns and villages that ended up like, because back then like family was really important, right? So if you're like a weirdo, you get exiled a lot of times. Then that happens to like whole communities, and they can't work together. Like, can't survive without other people, so you end up just dying off. Yeah, because you could see Egypt or one of the Mesopotamia or one of these other countries. They were like ancient civilization. They start dealing with this kind of stuff, and it probably was like, oh, good, all our peasants are all become like gays, and they don't want to work and get married anymore, and like the peasants class starts like going sterile, and then the rich people are like, well, we need our peasants to be able to like, you know, do stuff. We got to put some like laws in place so they continue breeding, and because they need a slave class, obviously. Because usually, if you look at the way it is, it's like the rich people are the ones who are like kinky weirdos. But then now it's like everyone's becoming a kinky weirdo. Like when I go on Twitter, and you search, you have to, even if you search woman into the feed, it'll come up with trannies. And it's like, because, and then dating websites, if I go to OkCupid, I can exclude white people from my search list, but I can't exclude the other races.
Wow.
And, yeah. And like, that's the other thing too, it's like everyone's like got white guilt nowadays. All these kids are like, oh, we should just get rid of, we should sterilize all the white people. And they don't realize like Asians are way more racist than white people.
They just don't want to talk about it. They just do it by their actions.
Well, if you go to China, they basically, if they kill you if you're retarded, that's why they don't have any retarded Chinese people. Like, I'm sure there is still, but if you're like Down syndrome or something like that, like their culture is very. Same thing with like Japan.
Well, they're just
Japan.
keeping the bloodline pure.
Well, I mean, you could be like a stupid NPC guy or whatever, right? But what I'm talking about is like straight up, you can't be left alone by yourself. You can't survive on your own. We have a lot of those people here around where I live. So they're like, now they're, I remember going to high school with them, and now they're my age, and they're still living with their parents. They have a social worker that has to be with them like 24/7 to make sure they don't accidentally, like, keep them on suicide watch, but they're not suicidal, they just have no common sense, you know. That's what I'm wondering about all of this. The government probably spending like millions of dollars or more every year keeping all these dumb people who don't contribute to society alive.
Yeah.
It's just a big drain on the society.
All these handicapped people with no legs.
But at least with people with no legs, you put them in a wheelchair, and if they're willing to work still, you can get them to do something. If you're that stupid, a lot of the times there's nothing you can do that's going to be productive.
It's like those guys in the office. They need to have it for like everybody in the world. Be like, what would you say that you do here? If you can't come up with anything, they'll just kill you.
Kind of true. Like some of these people at least have like a job. Like it was like Down syndrome twins in town. And they worked at the bottle wash plant. All they did all day was they took like a sharp hook-shaped instrument and fished out all the nastiness inside of the bottles and then put the bottles in the dishwasher. That was, you could literally just have a robot that did that. You know, you wouldn't have to pay the robot. Then if you do that, then you get all these retarded people who are like, we're making
Wait, where
money.
was this at? Was that like a place that bottles things? Like
You take
recycle
your-
bottles? Do they just reuse those? You know, recycle?
Yeah, they reuse those. So they
I
take
thought
those
they,
like
crushed them up into glass and they melted it down and made new glass.
in your country they do, but in my country we don't have any smelteries anymore because they closed them all because of carbon emissions and stuff like that. So they
They just
Wash
wash them and redo,
Yep.
rebottle.
rebottle them, yeah,
Somebody
ship
had
them
their
back.
nasty lips on it. Just, yeah, just wash it, reseal it.
Sometimes too, like when I was working there, some of these bottles come in full of like
That's the way they used to do it back in the old
Cigarette
days. Where they
butt.
had the milk crates. Remember that? The glass bottles of milk. They'd pick up the empties every day and like rewash them and fill them.
you wash them in boiling hot water and then just I guess reseal them or something. Like it was like a giant dishwasher that was hooked up to like a big boiler and
Single burger.
We
It's
would-
horrible. Can't wait to get some.
it seems like it would be a lot of like how you'd make money off that, right? But oh, I didn't really enjoy working there. It was like really loud and dirty and hard work, but there was like broken glass everywhere, which I didn't really have to clean the bottles out because sometimes they would come with like you'd have
You
a bunch
just
of
pretend
lemon.
Like you were. Put some dirty bottles in the thing. Yeah, sure you cleaned it.
Remember, I went over there because I was the cleaner, and where they're working, a lot of the times there's all over the floor, everywhere was bottle caps, like thousands of them. So I was in the room with them, like shoveling like bottle caps off the floor into the garbage or whatever. They like one of them complained to me, or complained to the boss that I was like in their way or something. I remember getting shouted at for that. It was just like, and he's like, "You don't need to be doing that." And I'm like, "What do you mean? It's almost like ankle deep in as of bottle caps in there. Isn't it like a tripping hazard or something?" But it looked like some of them have been there for like forever. Like, I understand there's probably not very much revenue to be made there, so the place is like pretty shitty looking, and there was just like trash everywhere.
Had to do with
They hired me to
tripping
clean it,
hazards.
and I just didn't know what they wanted me to do. I'm like, this place looks like it needs to be burned down at this point. Like,
I'll just
there's
go over here and call OSHA then, I guess. Y'all have OSHA over there?
Would probably do. Problem is, the only two industries left in my town are like the bottle wash plant and the cement factory. I guess pretty much everyone just works out of the cement factory. There used to be an apple juice factory or something here, but they shut that down. And there's no more money in apple juice, baby.
Might go get some Applebee's right now. Wait a minute. Yeah, about 10 minutes I gotta go get some fried chicken. I just remembered. Fried chicken comes out at 9 o'clock. I'm gonna get it freshest as it is. And then
You should just make your own.
I bought some coleslaw with some the other night, but I had way too much coleslaw, so I gotta get some more chicken to get rid of the coleslaw.
Where are you gonna get that from? Just the diner or something?
You got a grocery store. Okay, so
Like a 7-Eleven that comes out with it.
Let's just see.
Yeah, I've gone to some of these. They've had the deli, and it was actually decent prices.
I'm gonna try to get this reward. Oh, you sons of bitches. 300 coins. Is that $30? It is, huh?
That's the other thing we're just talking about. Talking with Showstoppers, like telling me about how Mr. Beast's friend
Free
about
trade.
it being like trans or something. Like everyone's becoming trans for some reason. Even like the manliest of manly men. It's kind
I'm
of
not
this.
gay, but I'll suck dick just to show you that I can. It's so weird. I'm a trans just to
weird.
show you how big a man I am. It's like LeBron wearing that pink dress the other day.
Well, you see them Dylan Mulvaney. He's like on the Bud Light. They put him on a Bud Light can, but he's like it's a trans dude. He doesn't look like a woman, but he's wearing like women's clothes. And there's another thing he did the other day where he's like dressed up in a sailor's outfit or something as like a little girl. He was pretending to be a little girl. It's like, what's this?
Because he's not really trans. He's just a cosplay troll.
I think, but he's like beating your president.
Yeah, that's what's funny about it. Nobody's caught on yet. He's doing all this crazy shit, and then he's eventually going to come out and be like, I wasn't even really gay, you dumb fucks. And they're all going to be like, what? They're going to be so stupid.
But this is why the rest of the world, like Canada, like, okay, Canada's not part of, like, we already did the trans stuff before you. But even we didn't have people that crazy. So even people here are like on the news are like, what's happened to the states? Gone like crazy woke. And what's the motto? It's like go woke, go broke, right? So like now your country's gonna go broke. You better get Trump or something back in there to. What the?
Man, this new map skill tree is crazy. Have you seen it?
I'm looking at it.
They got these big nodes now. Look at this one. Your maps cannot be modified by fragments other than divine vessels, but they have 50% more base chance to contain extra content.
Extra content? What does that mean? Like another map within a map?
I guess it's like be influenced or have side missions or like encounters, like delirium, blight, that kind of thing. Connects to cryptic gateway, and it goes over here. Whoa! You get this one, you get on the other side of the map tree faster.
A cryptic gateway? What's
Cryptic
that,
rare
Jake?
maps and any Atlas missions. Map crafting options.
Wait,
expect
how
to
long
find
have we had
predictably when
these-
open.
This talent tree for the maps, because it's fucking massive compared to like the whatever I looked at last time.
This is like a whole new tree. I need to study this. I do a lot of
It is.
heists, so I should probably get this heist node over here.
It's nothing like. It's kind of like you choose what play style is based off of, right?
What was the thing that was super easy to abuse? The what are those things called? Altars.
What the hell is the cryptic gateway connects through?
What are those things called? The altars that give you the buffs, and you can like stack how long the buff lasts, and you can make you have like all of them by the time you get to the end. Shrines.
Oh.
Here we go.
Shrines, yeah. Altars or shrines? Are you talking about wearing a headhunters or something?
I don't know if it's still good or not. 30% effective shrine buffs on players. Additional shrine effect. Ooh. 10% chance to be coveted shrine. And I think that's just like a money making thing. Oh, they've nerfed the shrines, haven't they? Match contain additional shrine. Increased duration. Well, maybe not. That's you have to wear that gull helmet. Or you don't have to, but it gives you shrine effects. You can target farm Chayula, I guess. Breaches, I think they changed a bunch of stuff. chests. Tainted currency by Beyond Demons. Ooh, that's good. Mortal Gateway. Teleport you over here to this one. Man, I ain't even gonna put any points in. Well, I guess I should, because you chance to go out more maps. Sulfite. I think they nerfed mining, so that's probably not good. Alva might be good, because you get those gloves that are going to be real expensive. Slave driver's hands. This one seems good. You get 25 less monster damage, 50% more monster life. So I'm going to be doing insane 80 billion damage anyway, so it doesn't matter how much life it has. I'll just make everything do 25% less.
You have to do Orbs of Regret for that if you went on and do it?
No, because the build that uses it is everything that I already have, pretty much. It's a Pathfinder, Poison. I don't know why the poison matters. I haven't really looked that deep into it. Maps with incursions have 4 incursions. What's the Veil Flesh version? Let's see, we got a node here, we got a node here. Node here. Alright, so we're going this way, I guess. I'm going to go to get some chicken. I guess I'll come back later, stream some more.